for the tears. Thank you for the moments that we hold dear. Thank you for the love, thank you for the light. I'm grateful every day.
Welcome back to another episode of Make Dreams Happen, episode 15. We are today I'm super happy and because I'm with Matthew. How are you, Matthew? How are you doing?
Very good. How you doing?
Good. How you been? How's everything going with you?
Very good.
It's been a while. We haven't.
No, you've been busy with others.
With others? What do you mean?
Other important guests.
Yeah, we've been having like different guests almost every Saturday. I always like to do the podcast with you and have
I
you
always
here.
like doing it with you too.
Yes, you're the original one.
You're the founding.
Yes, my co-host, my original co-host. But I'm super happy. How's the weather outside? It's
Miserably hot.
Yeah, oh my God, we are here in Phoenix, and it's super hot outside. Oh my God.
Well, not only is it hot, it's also there's a lot of humidity, so it feels like you're in an oven trying to breathe.
Yeah, if you live in another state, there is no Phoenix. You're lucky right now.
Right now,
Because now it's super hot.
it's our season to get beat up.
Yeah, and I'm from Nicaragua. There is like a tropical. It's always humid, but I feel here the heat here is. It's worse, I think so.
Yeah, I was worried this year because it took a little while for the heat to show up.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, we're gonna get hammered, and it looks like.
And we're doing that.
Yeah. We're not even into July yet, and it's miserable.
Tomorrow is July.
Yeah, but it's like I said, we're not there yet. And it's like this whole week was 108, 110, 108, 110. So it was hot.
Just remember, people, keep inside your house with your AC. Don't
Have water with you at all times.
have water with you all the time. Get those bottle of water all the time. Keep hydrated.
Yeah, and don't leave your kids in the car or your dogs.
No, please. Especially if you're here in Arizona. Today I want to talk about focusing yourself. So I've been doing like beside the English episode, I've been doing like a Spanish version too, like kind of like short videos, like 15 minutes, 12 minutes episode in Spanish. And the last week I talked about focus in yourself, like you like focus in yourself and stop like putting attention on other people do. Because when we do that, sometimes when we do that, we lose track of our goals and
Right.
our dreams because we are focusing on other people, and when we do that, we like totally lose focus on what we want to do and achieve our goals.
You're taking all that energy you could use for yourself to move forward, and whether it's jealousy or boo-hoo, why can't that happen to me? That may not be your journey. That might be someone else's journey, and you're not supposed to be on that path.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody has their own like journey. So it's very common. Like example, when I'm already in my 30s, and you see there's people when are in their 30s, and like people that went to the same school or like have the same age, and you see these people that has already a family and that had a car, and you don't have that, and you start like thinking what I don't have, and you start getting frustrated and all the stuff because you don't have what that person has. So, and that's when all those negative things came to your mind, and that's when all those like inner voices that you had in your head come to your mind to say, you're not good enough, you're not worth it, because you don't have what that person had.
But you also, just because you don't have a house, you don't have a new car, doesn't mean that you're in the wrong spot, because you might be in a good financial position. You don't drive a new car, but you drive a car that gets you back and forth, and it's not the sexiest thing on four wheels, but it does what it's supposed to do. That person, we don't know. I mean, the standard right now is people don't have enough money for like they're living paycheck to paycheck. So that person that you're kind of envious of could have a house they can't afford, a car payment they can barely make, credit cards coming out of everywhere. You know, that you don't know that stress inside their home. So you're envy, or you're envious of a disaster, essentially. You know, it's just a disaster waiting to happen when you actually have it pretty well. You know, you're comfortable financially, and they have a brand new car, but they worry about it every time they have to make a payment for it.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, you are where you're supposed to be. So everybody has everybody has different journey. Everybody has a different way to live their life, because that person, you went to school at the same time and you had the same age, and this person is in different position than you are. That doesn't mean that you're doing wrong. So, and you have to like start focusing on that person, and because when you do that, this what I said, you forget about the good things that are happening in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, like you don't know what what is that person's life inside of his house or their house. So, and
It could be a bad marriage, and you know, who knows?
this social media world that we live in, you see a lot of like people posting on Facebook, traveling and doing that, and I'm guilty of that. Like, oh my God, seeing these people is traveling in Paris and I'm here and something like that disrupt your momentum from your goals.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you see something, you're like, the thing that you see in social media are not always the truth.
Most of the time, they're not.
And now, especially with this AI technology, you see pictures and the people that maybe they don't even exist, and they are like just creation of somebody else imagination.
Right.
So it's for the reason that one of the things that social media, I think it is good and bad at the same time, because it keeps us connected with the world and with our family, but also distract us and also like bring you like a lot of like traumas and a lot of like insecurity.
It sets an unrealistic expectation of what people are doing. And I'm sure there are people that are on the internet and whatever social media that have been successful. They've turned their channel into something that's successful, but most people I don't think are. They're not traveling the world, and they're living a life online that they're not actually living in life.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
that's all about the socials. There's the projecting of something. You gotta get people's attention. So
Yeah, that's true. People attention, like get attention from other people, or the attention that you don't have in your house or in your environment, you wanna get that from the people outside, or the people that is like scrolling in their phone, something like that. That's a good way to put it, honestly.
I mean, I think if you actually looked at the metrics of their social, most people are just doing exactly that. Like, oh, they'll look at it for 10 seconds, 12 seconds, and moving on. So their content may not necessarily be reaching anybody. You're just like, oh, an attractive person, or that's kind of funny, or you're moving forward. They're not really getting attention in the way like interaction. It's view.
Yeah, it's funny that we were talking about this, because the other day I had a meeting with this group of guys. They're they entrepreneur and they have their own business. And this meeting was this guy that he's website designer and marketing. And I asked him, what is your Instagram? And he said, I don't have Instagram and Facebook. And I was like, what? I was kind of surprised, because he worked in website design and so on. And he said, why you don't have Instagram? And he said, I don't have Instagram and Facebook for my mental health. And I was like, how come? And he said, because every time that I was in Instagram, I was comparing myself with somebody else. And I was just looking like these muscle guys or these people fighting, and I was comparing myself, and I was forgetting about who I was and how I should be. It's for the reason that I don't have social media. And I was like, he's so right. Because like when you like scrolling, you're like paying attention, how I say before, other people's life, and you want to compare, and the only person that you should be comparing is yourself.
I had a long time ago when I was 18, 19, 20 years old. You know, I was in the military for 6 years. I got out of boot camp, got out of my training for my job. And when I was in Catholic school, I hung out with probably the smartest kids in our class. They were just like all excel. And not that wasn't me. I kind of hung out with them because I knew them from childhood. Not that I wasn't smart, but these are really smart people. And they all went to really good schools afterwards, and I went in the military. So we ran into each other. My friend Pete had asked all of us to they had gotten out of college, and I was home on leave. And we all kind of got together, and I got to listen to what they had done. And they were very interested in what was going on with me. But when I left, I felt like, wow, they went to college and had this experience and this experience. And I actually was down on myself. And it took me several years to realize, you know what, that just wasn't my experience. And I actually had a really cool experience that they'll never get. And that was just a growth thing, like realizing, yeah, you didn't go to college the way that everyone else goes to college. I ended up going to college because the military paid for it, but I had to do a little work beforehand, and I got to see the real world for what the world is. It's a dangerous place.
And that thing, it was like a teaching lesson.
Exactly.
Teaching lesson for you, and you learn more about life. And
I got to travel, just not to any of the nice places.
You travel for free.
I did travel. Well, I don't know. Traveling for free doesn't always. When Frontier looks like Air France, some of the things we had to.
Yeah, but that did bring you something good at least. Like you said, you went to college to the end. Not at the same time that they went, but you went to college and you didn't pay a tuition and you don't have all the stuff. That's something good. And it's what we say, it's different journey that you have. Probably you start from the same place, but you went to different destinations. So and it should be like that. You have to focus on yourself. Just remember the only person that you have to compare is yourself. So your biggest competition has to be yourself.
Right.
And also you have to visualize the person that you want to be. So and then start taking actions to become that person. And like every day, take small actions to get to that point where you want to be and what you want to have. Not what other people want. No, go and become other people, other person.
It's a quick way to make yourself unhappy. You're doing things that aren't true to yourself, for one thing, and then you have to actually, because when you're on your right path, I think things are easy. You know that's your next step. When you're following someone else's example or you're following someone else's dream, it's frustrating because you don't necessarily know which way you're going to go. You have to wait for them to make that move. Let's go back to social media. They have this and that, and they wear this, they talk about that, and you're doing all of these same things. It may not be the same. You don't want those things. You don't want to purchase those things. You don't want to wear those things. You don't want to talk about those things, but because you think you should be there, you're doing all those things.
And also when you see those things, you start judging.
Exactly.
Because when you start judging, it's because you want to be that person, or you want to be something that person had that you don't have it, and you start judging. And judging is not like a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. And judge another people and judge yourself. It won't take you where you want to go. That's what I say. You're focusing on the negative thing. So
what's the old adage when you're pointing your finger at somebody? There's 3 more or 4 more pointing at you.
Exactly, because when you're judging, it's because something that triggered you. It's something that you had also that reflects yourself too, or like you said the other day when we were talking, maybe it's envy, or you're envious for that person. So, and remember that judging is not a good, how did I say before, it's not a good feeling, and it's not a good It won't make you feel better.
It's a bad use of your energy.
It's about, yeah, exactly. It's a good way to put it. Like, it's about use of your energy. And the moment you're gonna feel good, like that you're jogging and you're like, but then it's not a good feeling.
Yeah.
It's not a good feeling. And the moment where you're criticizing or you're like judging people or judging, I don't know, whoever, you can feel, because it's a release of your emotion, like something that is triggering you. But then it's not a good feeling, because we all are judged at one point in our life, because it's part of the human being.
Right.
But we have to understand that it's not a good feeling, and it's not something that's gonna help us to become the better person that we all want to be, or to achieve their goal, to achieve the goals that we want to get.
And that's just, I think, to kind of put this all together, is this is about things we can do as human beings, as individuals, to make sure we're checking ourselves. Like, we all do it. Every single one of us will look at something like, oh, look at that. But then turn that around and be like, do you want somebody doing that to you? It's just like a check-in all the time with yourself. Like, are you doing these things? Are you using your time correctly? Are you focused on stuff that doesn't help? Like, are you judging somebody, or are you envious of somebody, when honestly you could just work on something else for yourself and be on that track? So really, it's just a constant check-in with yourself. Are you doing these things because you're envious, or you're just being petty, or is there a reason for it? Sometimes you do need to say something to someone or about something.
Yeah, do you believe that? Do you think so?
I think so. If you're critiquing something and it's meant for good or to correct something, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. And that's going to depend on your delivery. If you're coming at somebody in a forceful way, it may get the wrong reaction. Where if you come in to them humble or caring or loving, it may be received better. It may not be, but your intentions are there.
Yeah, but I see that different, because that's like trying to help another people and say, hey, I'm trying to correct what you're doing, but that's not being judgy.
No, but I'll give you an example. Let's say somebody, and they do not handle their money well. So they come to you regularly to come and get a loan or whatever else, and you're at a point where you're like, and they've spent money they didn't have, and they shouldn't have purchased that thing or whatever, and instead of being like, whoa, you're saying, you say, this isn't a loan anymore. I'm going to give this to you, but I will never give you another dime ever, and here's why. I love you, and this is a mess in your life, and I want you to get better. So because I love you, I'm not going to do this for you anymore. So there is judgment in that, right? That you are judging them. You're judging how they're living, their choices, but you're coming to them and saying, I'm going to help you, but I need you to help yourself too.
Yeah, but another thing is like, yeah, you're right. You say you're judging because you like practically saying you're not living the life you should be living. But at the same time, you're doing something to help that person to improve his life and become a better person.
I'm sure that lead up to that conversation, though, would be a lot of judgment.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, but I don't know. I think if we as a human, we all judge, and it's not a good feeling. And when we judge, I believe this because something that is triggering us, or something that we also do too. So I think so. And when we do that, we like the feeling that you had and the energy that you bring to you is not a good energy. It's not the energy that you want, or the frequency that you want to be to achieve your goal and to become the person that you want to be. Because we always, as a human, we are looking to become a better person and achieve our goals and be in a better position, have the freedom to do more stuff that we really like. So, but for that, we had to take action, and we had to focus on ourselves, and we had to focus in what we doing to get to that point, and also like to see what are the things that I'm doing now that I'm keeping me away from my goal, or those things that are keeping me away from the person that I want to have to become. And sometimes when you're like focusing on another person and you're criticizing another person, and you're like how to say in Spanish we say pendiente de lo que la otra persona hace o lo que el del vecino hace. It's kind of like you are like always in the window of your house, like looking what your neighbors
Instead of cleaning your own
are
house.
doing or not. So, and you forget the mess that you had in your house. So it's for the reason that it's good. Just focus on yourself and start comparing yourself with other people, because that's not good for you, and that won't help you to where you want to go.
Right.
And especially now in this time that we were live. So there's something that I grew up with, like a lot of like comparisons when I was growing up, especially from my father's side. He was always comparing me with all my my oldest nephew or my brother or with another kids too. So and now that I am a grown up adult, that's the way to say.
Yep.
So I say sometimes that thing affect me in the way that I grew up and the person that I grew up, because I always trying to like please my father, or like trying to be what like the person that
You think he wants you to be.
I was trying to be the person that he wanted me to be, or trying to be like the other person that he was comparing me with. So, but and also when that happened, it's like when we lose our authenticity, because we are not following who really
Your authentic self.
our authentic self, or who we really want to be.
Right.
Yeah, it's for a reason the comparing yourself with other person, judging, that's something that it won't make you feel happy, and it won't make you to become the person that you want. Just compare with yourself, and remember that you are your biggest competitor, and just remember that you just visualize the person that you want to become, or what you want to be in 5 years, and then start taking actions. Because honestly, at this point, I think what you're doing now that's gonna be your future. That's the way that I
You're
think.
building on things.
Yes, it's something we forget like to be in the present, because we are thinking in the future. Is that, but we don't like, we were forgetting what we are doing now.
Right.
So, and also we stay in the past, and the past is already past. It's the time already passed, and you cannot change that. It's already happened. It's an experience. It's
Right.
stay in your life, and now it's time to be present and build new memories, and be in the momentum to achieve your goals,
Right.
and take actions.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's something that I really want to talk with you, and also with the people that watch the episode and listen to the episode. That came from that conversation that I told you with that guy. He say, I don't use social media because
Right.
I don't like to compare myself with those people.
I heard I was listening to a podcast, and they were saying that there's a lot of and it's millennials that are just dropping off from social media for exactly that. They spend so much time on there, and there's these expectations that they get from there, and it's pulling out a lot of energy from them, and they don't want anything to do with it. So I think it's a good thing that we're finally starting to realize that that's not real life. The interaction with other human beings is real life, and that's where we should be more often than not on a tablet or a phone cruising through someone else's supposed life. So
Yeah, we had lost that connection and that like social life with people and in real life to be.
We did it yesterday when we were having lunch or dinner, dinner, and I realized that both of us were sitting at the table on our phones. Both we weren't even talking. We were just like, but then we would pop them up. Did you see this thing?
Yeah, that's true.
Instead of like,
I'm guilty of that. We are guilty of that. So, and it's something that we are working that, and I'm working on to get better at that. Like, so, and yeah, and I feel that, and I think it is something that we as a human we have to work that and be present, and because it's like when you are on your phone, you are not. You maybe your body is there, your body is there, but your mind is not. And so
exactly.
And you like miss things that happen around you, and then you want to remember what happened in that moment, and then you don't because your mind wasn't there.
Right.
Yeah, but okay, that's true, and I apologize for that too.
I do it too. So
yeah, but it's something that we need. I personally, I need to get better on that for sure.
We don't like silence anymore. We don't like just quiet and time to think. I am so guilty of this. If you got 2 minutes, you're like, I can do it sometimes at a stop sign.
Yeah, that's true. I did that yesterday too.
Yeah, wrong. Don't do that.
Yeah, it's wrong. Exactly, it's wrong, and something that I've been trying to do, like to be present and be more in the moment and learning from what is happening around me and learning from life too. So and it's good. How to say social media is good because you can learn also from social media too. So there are good posts and there are people that post really good content when you can learn, and that's something that I'm trying to do to like entertain and also like also give this message to people that we can do anything that we want and that we can achieve our goals if we want. It's just here in our mind and the way that we think, and we have to stop thinking that we are not able to achieve our goals. And we had to learn to be grateful for the thing that we had, and for the thing, even for the thing that hasn't happened yet, we have to be grateful because it's the way that we believe that it's something good is going to happen for us, and we believe that God is always had our back, or the universe always had our back, and we had a faith, and we had to be grateful because that's going to happen to us. It's like when you order something in Amazon. Mm-hmm. So you order and you feel happy. You say, "Oh, no, you don't have the physical thing, but you're happy because you're sure that
I spent that money. I can't wait."
Yeah, and now you're gonna receive it. You're gonna have it. It's the same thing. Like you have to be sure what you ask for God and what you're working to get is gonna be there, and be grateful because you're gonna have it. Maybe not now. You don't know when, but you're gonna have it. You have to be sure and have faith in God that what you want is gonna happen. But also you have to put the work too.
Right.
Like when you order, you put your money. So it's the same thing. You have to put the work, take actions to get to that point, and believe in God that you're gonna have that for sure.
Definitely.
So awesome. That was it for today. Thank you again, Mr. Matthew, for being here with me and talking about this. And remember, guys, just be focused on yourself. Start taking action and just believe in yourself. And remember that you're capable to achieve anything, and you can make dreams happen. Thank you again for watching us. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like this video too, and give us a like, share with your friends, and that way we can get to more people. And remember, just my intention for this podcast is to give this message to the people and motivate more people to go for their goal and go for their dreams and make those dreams happen, like the name of the podcast. So I will see you next time. Thank you guys. Thank you, Matthew. And take care of yourself. And please drink a lot of water as you're here in Arizona. Bye, guys.
laughter, thank you for the tears. Thank you for the moments that we hold dear. Thank you for the love, thank you for the light. I'm grateful every day.